Welcome to my beautiful studio. One thing that I wanted to talk about today, and it's kind of something that my friends and I will discuss and people have come to me about, and it is like dealing with breakups and like all of the complex emotions that come, with heartbreak and shit just not going your way. I'm going to share with you today is kind of just the stuff that I've learned over the years that's kind of helped me. And, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and, we learn from our mistakes. So hopefully you can learn from mine. Also, in between sets, what we're going to do, I'll do the exercise, and then I'll probably clip to me talking, just experimenting with something new. All right, like we've been doing, we're going to do the seated like military press or overhead press. That works too. But we're going to do 3 sets, 8 to 12 rep range. On this, I really like this as a compound lift for shoulders. Um, and I like to go all the way to my clavicle. I'm all about like just full range. I feel like it feels the best, and I'd rather use less weight to get if it means I can have better control and a bigger stretch. Ooh. Woo! Now, first thing, if you didn't expect the breakup coming, it's going to completely like rock your world. Naturally, you're going to try to want to make sense of everything, but I implore you, do not. It doesn't matter why it happened. We don't know what it is that you did or they did. We can't assume. Trying to figure that out is going to get you nowhere. All that matters is the fact that it happened. And try not to invest too heavily on those thoughts. And they're going to come at you. But the why, we can worry about that at a different time right after. I mean, it's kind of what our mind wants to do. But just understanding that, um, maybe at a later date, you can get into really dissecting what happened. But now is not the time. Woo. Also, I will add, oftentimes we like to like assume that like, oh, what did I do? Like there must have been something that I did to cause this to happen. Maybe. But oftentimes, like there's a lot that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with that other person that we are unaware of. So the default doesn't need to be what did I do wrong? You could have done nothing wrong, right? You could have done everything perfectly, and that might be what's fucking with you. You could think like I tried so hard, I did everything right, but like you don't know what that person's got going on. You don't know how they think. You don't know what their attachment is like. So don't always assume that we've done something wrong. If that person wants to, they'll tell you. Woo! Jesus. Good start. Now you might be asking like, well, what if I want them back? Okay, that may be very true, and you likely do. However, right now is probably the single worst time to try to do that. For one, their attractiveness to you, you're like a one, right? Picture like a salesman. Like you already don't want the product, right? When they keep coming after you, like a used car salesman, it's just so off-putting. You are essentially the used car salesman when you start reaching out and trying to beg for that person to reconsider. You become the used car salesman, and no one likes them. But we're going to also, for the exercise, do rear delt cable flies that I like to do because she may be gone, but a sexy back will help you with the next one. I like a downward, like arc. I think of more like a downward arcing motion all the way back. Whoa, man. Beautiful, much like you are. Jesus. I love this shoulder exercise. Seriously, A1. The single handed best thing that you could give that person is exactly what they asked for. So if it was space, give them space. Clearly, if they're breaking up with you, it's some sort of space that they're requesting. Give them that space. Give them a chance to miss you. That's where the feelings grow. Not in the time spent together, but in the time spent apart. just like my arms are going to be, because we're going to be doing some lateral raises. Ideally, I would have done these in the chair just because I feel like I could eliminate movement and be more precise, but one is not available. So I'd also give up on the idea that this person was the one. There's 8 billion people in the world. Chances are there'll be a lot more ones. But you want the tens, and you could find plenty in a gym. Having an abundance mindset is key. Things are going to be A-okay. She wasn't perfect. Neither were you. That's okay. On to the next. Ooh, Jeebus. Now, a wise friend told me this: go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. And I took that to heart. The way I look at it is like, okay, in this event that you guys are split, it hurts or whatnot. Do you really want to be with somebody that doesn't choose you? That don't really make sense. That could be the single-handed most unattractive thing that somebody could do, not choose you. I only want to spend time around people that want to spend time with me. I only want to talk to people that want to talk to me. I only want to invest in people that want to invest in me, you know? So that's not unfair. And that's kind of just knowing your worth and like, yo, you're not really losing out. Even though it feels like it now, in the long run, you're not. We're going to go on to face pulls, which are really good for your middle and side delts and just overall, like general shoulder health and mobility and stability. Bodybuilding inspired pro tip. When I do these, this has been feeling really good lately. If I picture trying to do it back double bicep pose. And that just like feels solid each time I do it. So if you're having trouble maybe feeling this the right way or like something feels off, try that big old flex because we really want to get those shoulders back. Also, this exercise is not so much about how much weight you can move, but this is really how you move the weight. So I advise working with a lighter weight and being more conservative and really focusing on the motion, the control, and the tempo. Woo! Let's do something else. I'll also say this. First and foremost, it's okay to be upset. Like, all being upset means is that you care. Whether it was based on you genuinely liking the person or just having like a physical attraction, you cared. And there's nothing wrong with caring about something. So when you're going through it, give yourself a little bit of grace. Like, it's normal to be upset. It's normal to grieve. You're perfectly fine. You are normal. Also, we're going to do this shoulder press on the hammer strength machine just because I like to do normally I do like two pressing movements on shoulder days. Not always, but I was feeling another one. Now, I will say, though, it's okay to be sad. Don't just sit in your room and sulk. Okay, the best thing that you could do is go out, be social, meet other people. You don't got to jump into anything right away. And I'm not an advocate for, the best way to get over someone is to get under someone. That doesn't help. Really, that just avoids feeling the upset that you're feeling right now and puts it on to the next person. So then that's inevitably going to fail. You're going to start the cycle over and over again. But go out, see your friends. This is a time to do anything that you wanted to do. Woo, man. All right, now we're going to do these kind of, I don't know what to call them. They are lateral-ish raises. Okay. Now, I'll also say this. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Oftentimes, we don't want to believe them. Like, no, you don't need to be with somebody like me, or, oh, it's not, whatever the thing is that they're telling you, believe them. Chances are, like, once the actions play out, it's going to be exactly what they said. And then they can always default on like, well, I told you, right? We just like we want to believe that the person in front of us is the same person that we've imagined up here, but they're not. We can only accept people for who they are today, sitting in front of us. Okay. Oh my God. Lastly, I'll say that even if it may not feel like it, everything is going to be all right. It might feel like your world is crashing down or you're going through this whole mix of emotions and whatnot, but give it some time. Do the things that I mentioned. Get out there, have fun, explore new hobbies, go to the gym, get into what pickleball, whatever it is. Just kind of figure out who you are without that person because we started off like this and we formed an identity based on that togetherness, which is no longer in existence. And that really fucks with our identity. So we kind of have to rebuild that identity. Who am I without this person in my life? Right. So it's a good time for self exploration. Then, if, like down the road, if you want to reflect, you can understand that it probably wasn't a personal thing. Okay. Like there's sometimes it just, we're not meant to work out with everybody. You know, it's, it's one thing to be attracted to somebody, but it's a whole other thing to have attraction and compatibility. And I'll say with any person that it's ended, like things have ended in my life with. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. But any breakup I've been through, anybody that was involved, I don't regret going through any one of those experiences. And look, I made it to the other side, just like you made it to the other side. But I don't regret any of those experiences with those people because they helped form who I am today. And each of those experiences was able to teach me something, you know, about myself. I mean, there was a time like where I broke up with somebody, which was never me. And that for that particular relationship being the first time that I had ever done that, that to me showed me proof that like I could create that boundary. I don't have to like I have the strength to leave, right? And that was critical for my development. And had I not been with that person, I would have, you know, maybe not have gotten that opportunity or not have learned that lesson. So, you know, and I kind of like who I am today. So I'd like to be able to think that, you know, all of it, all of these failed relationships, all of these failed experiences, they all serve a purpose, you know. So that's about it. I'm going to head on out of here. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you learned something and take something away from this video. Remember to stay beautiful and that you are loved. And I will see you next time where we should be doing legs. Good old legs. See ya, buddy.